hot take. Duke will upset Clemson this year, Chris. What are you thinking?
I'm super torn on this. Yeah. You know, Clemson probably has one of the highest ceilings this year in college football as far as last year was a down year for Clemson, right? These guys got 2 national titles in 3 years. These guys, we remember the Trevor Lawrence, the Deshaun Watson years. I think Dabo Swinney, some people are going to argue with me and say he's a stooge. I think he's a good coach, even though I think he's a stooge on top of that at times. Here's the big thing with me. Duke had 9-win season, Christian, last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. They got some hype, and I think they're very slept on. And I know it's Duke. Everybody thinks Duke. When you hear Duke in college, anything, it's basketball, right? Mike Krzyzewski, we get that. Right? Anybody that follows any sort of sports knows that. But Duke isn't a team that I think should be slept on this year. I think this game is very interesting. Week 1, I'm going to throw it out there. Kind of like the Nebraska-Minnesota game. Conference game right away, first week of the season. Clemson's coming off kind of a down year. They don't have DJ there. He's at Oregon State now. I think it was Kate Klubnik or whatever the hell his name is. He's the guy that's supposed to take the reins, right? Highly recruited. We could get into all that. Dabo Swinney, Clemson looks like they should win this game. Like you said, get the matchup predictor there, 85.2%. But I think Duke is very slept on here. And it's just because Clemson's not going to be in full sync week 1. This is why this is so huge. This is no different than a Nebraska, Minnesota argument I make week in and week out with some of you guys in the chat. Week 1 is different. Teams aren't going to be on top of their game week 1. We all know this. Anybody that played high school ball would know this. You're a different team at the end of the year. Whether that's good or whether it's bad, we don't know. Yeah. I think Duke has an actual chance to pull this off. And it would not shock me, Christian, if Duke did win this game. Now, maybe I stand out on an island by myself right now because a lot of people just like to look, a lot of fans just want to look at the two teams. And Clemson's been great. They're obviously been on top of the ACC for the most part the last 10 years. Okay. But this shit happens, man. And it's one of these things, dude. Mike, how do you say his last name? Elko or whatever at Duke, dude, he's done a great job, man. I think he's in his second or third year there. He's done a great job. They've been relatively competitive. I know that last year their schedule was relatively easy. They also returned 17 starters. Clemson doesn't even come close to that. So I think this game is very interesting. Do I think it happens? I don't, but I think this game is super, super close. It's at Duke. Duke has a chance here. Would it surprise me? No, actually not. I'm actually relatively high on Clemson as far as season predictions go and the end of the year, Christian. I want to hear your thoughts on this because this is one of these kind of interesting matchups that most people probably overlook the casual college football fan, Christian. Oh, pencil in Clemson.
Yeah.
This could happen. We see it all the time, man. Go ahead.
It's the same people that are saying Bama's going to win 12 in a row this year and win 5 back-to-back national titles.
I like your voice.
I don't know. That sounds like more of a Dr. Phil there. I can't really harness that much stupidity. I can't do it, man. I mean, and I'm from Georgia, by God, so the accents aren't too different. But Chris, here's the thing. I gotta tend to agree with you on this. I don't see this as being that much of a hot take. I mean, this isn't a super bold take here. Duke actually had a better defense last year than Tennessee did, statistically. All right, as Duke finished the year ranked 68th in total defense, and Tennessee ranked 91st. So I know you're thinking, okay, well, why does that matter? Tennessee didn't have a really good defense at all. Well, the reason why I brought up Tennessee is Kate Klubnik and the Tigers were actually played against them in their bowl game, and they only put up 14 points on Tennessee's defense.
Exactly.
Klubnik had 1 rushing touchdown, 2 interceptions, no passing touchdowns, and a 49.1 QBR.
Yeah.
My main point with all this, dude, Duke is a sneaky good team, and like you touched on, dude, they return a shit ton of production. They have a great shot, in my opinion, to upset them because they return their do-it-all quarterback last year, Riley Leonard, who led the team in both passing and
Very
rushing.
I like this guy.
Oh, yeah, dude. He had 3,700 yards and 33 touchdowns last year. They bring back their top 4 leading receivers from last year and a running back who had 8 touchdowns. The defensive side of the ball, Duke is led by a defensive-minded head coach, Mike Elko, if you know anything about college football, you kind of know where he, his track record, right? So he's a defensive minded guy. Last year, Chris, they only allowed 22.1 points per game. I think they're going to be even better this year. Year two, they only replaced 3 starters from last year on that defense. So, there's guys there who've got experience. There's guys that have experience there. The D line's going to be even better. They should be able to get pressure. Linebackers, everything like that are going to be able to do what they need to do. Look, I can go on about this all day. You touched on it, Chris. If Clemson comes out of this game very, very slow, which can happen, dude.
Oh, God, yeah. First game
they're going to they're going to get socked in the mouth, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I just think that, like, college football, like their fan bases, man, I just love people's fan bases. This is why I enjoy the Husker fan base in here. Mike, by the way, big shout out to you. I saw it in the chat. Yeah, it's a big deal. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you. It's really all I can say. I do appreciate it, guys. Harry, hey, what's up, y'all? Harry, what's up, big guy? Harry Leg, I love it. Guys, the big thing with me though, with this whole Clemson-Duke thing, it's again, I'm gonna tie it right into Nebraska, Minnesota. I'm gonna make this easy for everybody. Is that it's the first week of the season, man. This is what I love about college football. It's kind of a lot of unknowns, Christian, right? We know at week 9 or week 10 kind of who's the top tier teams. We kind of know who's going to probably beat who on a given basis. This is what I love about college football, man. And Clemson's one of those teams this year that obviously Dabo Swinney is a proven champion. He has brought in a shit ton of talent through Clemson. And Duke is one of those teams that, they won 9 games last year. Well, everybody's defense, who the hell is Duke? They had a fluke season. I don't know. I think Duke, ACC isn't like super tough in the middle or the bottom of the conference. They got a chance here to do something, Christian. I think it's awesome. I love this about this. We talk about the Utah-Florida game, right? Week 1, that's a big one. We all know who me and Christian are super high on, but we'll leave that later on in some podcast about what we think there. But I mean, it's no different in Nebraska, Minnesota, man. Duke is right in that level of quality of team right now. They won 9 games last year. When's the last time Nebraska won 9 games? When's the last time some of these schools, have put up these kind of wins? So it's a big thing for me. I love this take, by the way. I don't know who came up with it. I love it. Maybe it was our producer, Alex. Christian, I don't know who this guy is really personally. Maybe you know him. But this hot take is super awesome. So, no, honestly, though, long story short, though, Duke's got a chance here. I think this game is super, super close. I think it comes down to the wire. It is at Duke. It's a big thing, man. I love this take, though.